I have no confidence as of today. I have zero confidence in the leadership in Memphis. So for me, it would be fade, fade, fade from management, the head coach, the bench, the locker room. Utter disaster, utter disappointment. I would be fading the Grizzlies all the way. And even when Jock came back, this is going to be an absolute Titanic iceberg Hindenburg season for Memphis if they don't fix this. They are going to be awful.
I don't think the Grizzlies are in terrible shape. Now, I'm not betting on them to win the NBA Finals or the Western Conference. I don't want to go that far, but I suspect there is going to be a lower win total, and that the public may very well believe you, J-Rod, that the Grizzlies are going to struggle without Ja Morant, not having him for a chunk of the season. But I suspect, intuition more than anything else, that it will be a lower win total, and I would like the over. Because whenever Ja Morant has missed time for the Grizzlies, they've picked up where they've left off. Like, it hasn't been that big of an issue. Ja Morant is really important when it comes to, say, like playoff basketball and key matchups and having that extra shooter there. But the Grizzlies' identity is elite half-court offense, where even if they don't get the best of shots off, they have great offensive rebounders who can extend possessions. That's what Memphis is all about. And you don't necessarily need Ja Morant to be able to do that. Certainly helps. You'd like to have Ja Morant on the floor if you can have him. But there are other critical pieces to Memphis to where I think they can still be serviceable. I still think they can make the playoffs.
With all of the off-the-court distractions, these players are probably frustrated and annoyed. It might feel like weight lifted off their shoulders knowing that he's going to miss 25 games and they can just go ahead and do their jobs and not have to worry about all the extra curricular interviews and questions about Ja and he's doing this and that. I mean, it wasn't just those two videos. There's been so many things going on that they've had to answer questions to. And imagine what he's like. I mean, if he's doing all this, is he a fun guy to play with? It might just be annoying for all of them, and they might actually play better without him.
Some projections I've seen say that Stanford offers a little bit of value just because they're in a really, really tough side of the bracket, as is Tennessee, though, Tennessee may not have the hitting that what you like from, say, a national champion, but that's the deal there is that, yeah, Wake Forest is mighty, mighty dominant, but Omaha can be a bit of a crapshoot as far as, say, not the best team winning the national championship, but they're just playing the best at that point. So definitely something to think about there. As far as Tennessee and LSU, Tennessee, they are underdogs plus 172 on the money line there. LSU minus 225. Paul Skeens, perhaps the best college arm that we have ever seen in college baseball. 1.77 ERA, 188 strikeouts, 107 innings, 12 wins in 17 starts. Guys, I mean, those numbers are breathtaking to say the least. And if the scouts are saying, okay, we agree that he's even better than Steven Strasburg, coming out of college, then that leads me to believe that LSU, should be able to suppress whatever Tennessee is going to try to do offensively, and that, LSU could win this one going away. They played each other in a 3-game set out in Baton Rouge. LSU won the first 2, but that third game belonged to Tennessee in a higher scoring affair. And it does point to this idea, J-Rod, that LSU, in terms of the top 2 arms, they are the top 2 arms in the country. But then after that, you deal with relief pitchers, bullpens. Maybe that's where opposition can pounce.
Well, I'm very interested in buying low right now on the New York Yankees. I actually took some World Series futures out about a week ago. It was bad timing because I think it was right before the Judge injury happened. But I do think that this team is going to turn it around. Harrison Bader comes back tonight. That's a big addition. If you look at their record with Harrison Bader, it's been significantly better than without. He brings a lot of defense out there in center field, and his bat has been missed sorely. DJ LeMahieu is finally starting to hit again. They got Donaldson and Stanton back. Of course, they famously homered, hit both his solo homers in their return last week. So I think this is a team that's getting healthy again. Carlos Rodon also, the mythical figure that is Carlos Rodon, he has not pitched this season. Apparently, according to, what no one's really seen that he exists so far this season, but according to the medical staff, he is working his way back, and it seems like he's about to get ready to go on a rehab assignment. Ian Hamilton's getting ready to go on a rehab assignment. Nestor Cortez won't be too far behind. So it's a team that's been dealing with a lot of injuries, but they're getting healthier. They're starting to hit the baseball, and I think within the next couple of weeks, we're going to see some big contributors return. And with that, I mean, they're playing well, right? They've been able to withstand the injuries. They've been able to run Willie Calhoun and Jake Bauers out there, and they're still nearly 10 games over 500. So I think they're a very good value to win the division.
Think about all the reasons why Shohei Ohtani would not win AL MVP. Might get traded to, say, a National League ball club midseason. Well, reports are out there that that's probably not going to happen, so there's that. He could get hurt. Well, that's hard to project, but he seems mighty healthy so far. And the other contenders to win MVP, they have been on the IL for some period of time, or they are, not playing, not at the highest level perhaps that they could. So the quality is not there, and maybe they're not 100%. So in terms of health, Ohtani has the advantage. And then you look at this idea of, well, maybe voters are just tired of Ohtani and they want to go in a different direction. Well, I would argue that his numbers this year are about as good as they've ever been for Ohtani. And it would be an injustice for him not to win the award, because even he has stepped his game up considerably. WRC plus right now is 169. That would be the best for Ohtani in any one season of his young career. Offensive Fangraphs WAR is 2.9. That's less than one away from all of last season. Lowest strikeout rate, on pace for more home runs and RBI than in any season of his career. And then as a pitcher, he is allowing the lowest batting average among qualified starters. His xFIP and xERA may not be as elite, but it's still more than respectable. Starting more games this season, so we're going to see him out there a good bit more, and that matters in terms of those voting awards and those voting markets. So you add all of that together, and absolutely Ohtani should be not just a sizable favorite to win AL MVP, but a -400 and perhaps something even shorter.